Hi everyone. This is our look at Boyle's Law. Boyle's Law was developed by the English scientist Robert Boyle, and it describes the relationship between pressure and volume at a constant temperature. If the temperature is stable, we're able to talk about the relationship between pressure and volume. It's specifically an inverse relationship. As the volume goes up, the pressure goes down. And as the volume goes down, the pressure goes up. Notice how those arrows are pointing in opposite directions. As the volume goes up, the pressure goes down. That's the signal that we have an inverse relationship. For example, if the volume was doubled, the volume increased by a factor of 2, then the pressure would be halved. Look at that. Here's 2 because it was doubled and halved. Well, what's the inverse of 2? 1/2. What's the inverse of 1/2? 2. We have this mathematical relationship that's a pure inverse at a constant temperature. In a formula, it looks like this. P1 multiplied by V1 equals P2 multiplied by V2. P1 V1 equals P2 V2. That's the mathematical expression of Boyle's law. P1 is the initial pressure, V1 is the initial volume. P2 is the final pressure, and V2 the final volume. So, questions about Boyle's law always have a before and after. They have an initial setup and then the end result. Before and after, initial, final. We don't have prescribed units. What I'm saying is the units must match. The two pressures have to be the same units, P1 and P2. They could both be kilopascals. They could both be atmospheres. As long as they match, we're good. The same with the two volumes. They have to be the same. They could both be milliliters. They could both be liters or something else. As long as the two pressures have the same units and the two volumes have the same units, we're great. We might wish it was a little bit more strict. It's a little bit loosey-goosey just saying the units have to match, but that's okay. Because of the setup, P1 V1 equals P2 V2, this means that questions will always give us 3 values, and we're looking for the 4th. We need to be able to manipulate this equation around into one of these 4 variations. We're never going to use it exactly as it appears. Every time we use Boyle's law, we're going to have to manipulate the equation to one of these 4 variations. As long as the units match, things will work out. If we were solving for P1, which is P2 times V2 over V1, the units for the two V's will cancel off, and whatever units we had for P2, that's what our answer is going to come out as. We need to be conscious of that. The same if we're working for volume or the other pressure. We need to take our time. We also need to be on the lookout for times where a question maybe will tell us about STP or SATP. What matters for us there is the pressure. We're not worried about temperature at all. Notice how there's no T's anywhere in the formula. Temperature doesn't make a difference. It's a constant temperature. It was the same before and after. It's not having any influence on the math. And I hope that helps.